we're going to Kerry. Bye. Right, so something I done when I was younger was something called the Ring of Kerry. If you're not from Ireland, it's basically a big driving road. You go around Kerry and it all looks kind of nice, right? And ever since I became an adult who has free will, I wanted to do the Ring of Kerry again. And today is the day. So I've got to get from Dublin all the way down to Kerry, do the Ring of Kerry, and then come back again. So we're looking at something like 800 kilometers. That's a lot of driving. So I'm gonna get started right now.
In general, like price of groceries, and now to have fuel prices going up on top of it, it's a huge concern for everybody, I'd imagine.
People are going, they're getting into debt over these prices.
It's ridiculous, it's mad. And I can see in the petrol pumps, diesel's gone up, petrol's gone up. People they won't be able to afford home heating now.
Well, it's going to be expensive.
Maybe let's go for a walk instead.
So I suppose everybody's worried.
No, I wasn't joking. I am just gonna go for a big walk. But just stay with me on this one, all right? There's method to my madness. Look, I have today off anyway, so I want to go and do something, and that something, I think, is going to be the Drogheda Camino, or the Boyne Valley Camino, as it's most commonly known, I think. I don't know, I just saw this online. If you don't know what the Camino is, I will tell you now, with the power of voiceover. Good Lord, I'm a lazy journalist. The Camino de Santiago, or the Way of St. James, the Journey of St. James, is basically a big network of historic pilgrimage routes that all basically lead to the cathedral at Santiago de Compostela in Spain. There's loads of different routes that are loads of different distances. Basically, in order to say you've actually completed the Camino, you have to walk a minimum of 100 kilometers. And you have to collect stamps along the way in a little passport to prove that you were there. And it's a pilgrimage, you be holy along the way and pray and stuff. It's a Catholic thing. For about 1,000 years now, pilgrims have walked these routes just to reach the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela. And for some reason, there's a chunk of it in Drogheda. A friend of mine got a sock stolen in Drogheda once. Would they steal a 1,000-year-old historic pilgrimage route from Spain? No comment. Anyway, I'll hand it back now to Dean in the whatever. Thank you, Scripted Dean. That was much more succinct than I could come up with on the spot here. First things first, I've got to make my way to Drogheda, which is only about half hour away from me, so I will now drive. Now, I should say, I've only ever been to Drogheda once, and that was, went in, there's a tiny little industrial estate, I had to drop some bits off, and then left again. So this is my kind of first run around Drogheda, so I don't know what to expect. I've heard, I think it's fair to say nothing but bad things, so interested to see if that's true or not. Oh, I can see, I can't see where I'm going. I've just gone the wrong way. Right, we're going just there. Over there. And over there is ideally that'll cut in to the next.
A shake dog. Interesting.
Right, so I'm outside here from St. Peter's Church and I've just bought one of these. This is a passport for the Camino. Essentially, there's like loads of little stops along the way and I've got to get a stamp at each. So I've got one, that's the stamp at this place. So now I've got to go to some hotel and get the next one. Now, it says that this can be done in 6 hours. I believe I can do it in 4. That's based on Nothing whatsoever. I've got to go to Marcy's hotel now.
So I'm here. If I get to the Irish Sea, I've gone the wrong way. So I need to avoid the Irish Sea. There's a deli on the way actually I can get a stamp at, so I'm hungry. Let's go.
And with that newfound fire in my belly, it was time for me to set off on my very own Camino. My very own way of St. James. Now, although I am fairly confident it's gonna be a long old walk, so I'd need to start battening down and getting... I'm at the first stop already.
I thought it'd be a bit further.
Yeah, the first stop is literally on the doorstep of the church. I don't know about you, but I'm the one racing the sun here, so I went in, got my little stamp, and I was on my way to the Hurley Bros Delicatessen, which I'd struggle to say was another 10 feet away. So I went in, asked for a stamp. The buck behind the counter thought I was threatening him. Thankfully, he remembered the Camino and marked my book. So that's 3 stops out of a total of 9 that's already been done. I'm gonna get this done in no... Did I even go over the route? The Boyne Valley Camino is a 25-kilometre looped walk, consisting of 9 stops. We've already seen the first 3, those being St. Peter's Church, the Marcy Hotel and Hurley's Deli, and they're all a couple of feet away from each other. Stop 4 is Mellifont Abbey, which is a nice 12-kilometre walk away. After that, we have to go to Tullyallen, to Lynch's Supermarket and the Morning Star Pub. After that, we have to cross over ourselves, over to Oldbridge House, and then back to Drogheda to the tourist office and Clark's Bar. Now, luckily along the way, the route is dotted with these little way markers, with this little shell design and an arrow. So we always know where to go, and we're not always sitting looking at our phones.
My first Drogheda back alley. I hope I come out the other side. Well, horse, I was going to say that this feels awfully sketchy, but then I saw a nice Volvo, so I was happy again.
Okay, we're kind of out of the hustle and bustle of the city now. It's hard to believe because like here's so peaceful, calm, relaxing, and you've got like hoodlums over there. It's mad. Oh my days. It's I feel like I've met a celebrity. For those of you who don't know who Mattress Mick is, get some culture. Come back to me. You just Google him. I don't know what to look at, the BMW or this thing. It's the BMW. Very nice, actually. Right. I don't know about you, maybe it's just because I'm a rural Donegal man, but I'd never heard about this Boyne Valley Camino until fairly recently. But apparently, it's really popular. I was talking to the receptionist that was behind the reception at Marcy's Hotel, and she says at the weekends she just leaves the stamp out because there's such a crowd of people that come in that need the stamp for their passport, that she just lets them batter on. Because if she didn't, then she wouldn't get on with her own work. It's crazy. I thought maybe like this route was set up by accident. You know, sometimes if you're tidying something up and then you go, okay, that's a part of this, so I'm just going to put it over here for now. I thought maybe that's what Spain done. And just put a bit of the actual Camino in Ireland just for temporary. But no. And yes, by the way, I'll address the concerns. The Gansey is off, the cardigan's off, because it's not warm. Well, it is warm, it's just not sunny. This week in Ireland, it's been like the sunniest week ever. Yesterday it was so warm, I couldn't stay in the house. It was tight. So I kind of picked this week to do this so it'd be nice and warm. I've picked the only overcast day, and it's very overcast. So it just looks very, 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 I don't know, Ireland. There's an Aldi.
Was the night in
Might go in just for a look. Just go crazy. It's a good thing I actually stopped at the Aldi to look, because otherwise I'd have gone down that road, and that's wrong. You need to come up here, as the shell says. Thank you, Shell. Do I go into Aldi? What will I get? It's the only one way to find out. Let's cross the road. Aldi was a mistake. There's air conditioning in there, and I got very acclimatized to it very quick. There's a man on that. There's just
there was a guy. There was a man on that roof in a high-vis, so he must know what he's doing. The Aldi had air conditioning. It's quite clammy out here.
Thanks to Aldi, I was back on track, and I was now walking past the city limits of Drogheda and into the wilderness. Now, although I'd only been walking for perhaps 40 minutes at this stage, being alone was starting to get to me a little.
Oh, it was a rhino capture! Lunatics.
You'll never guess what I see.
Zoom. They're my own sound effects, by the way. Okay, now it's time to put these babies in four-wheel drive. They're ready.
And I'm sure you are too, to actually see some of this journey. So let's get walking.
You know, genuinely, these roads remind me of home. It's actually quite nice. It's comforting to see roads in this state of disrepair in a town close to Dublin. It's not just Donegal that's forgotten about. What you mean? Alright, so we walked all the way up to there, to about here. We're going through there. They're building, it's a Gortmel estate, so if you're watching this in the future, I'm after seeing a guy pee inside a house, so that could be your home. So I was wondering why all the site workers back there were like looking at me, looking a little bit cross at me. Then I twigged. They're all wearing orange high-vises. They thought I was a labourer getting off early. Also, I probably won't come across on camera because of the orange. Yeah, okay, my face is burnt on the left-hand side only. I was at the rally at the weekend and we were looking at cars, obviously, and we were where we were, there was like a crest. And whenever a car came over, I was looking left the whole day. So I just got burnt on the left-hand side of my face. It says go straight. It's a T-junction. Do I go into his living room? There's a shell over there. It's not zooming in anymore, but there is, trust me. Okay, now let's play a game of Frogger. And path.
And down that path, I even managed to discover my first holy monument.
Oh, that's just into someone's house. So briefly remembering, this is mostly like a car channel. The house, I'm not going to show you because obviously it's someone's home. A Nissan 350. Yeah, and he was just putting like a kit on the front bumper of it. No one's home, so I can't go be like, oh, can I take a photo? But it looked really nice. So, nice. Oh, Newgrange is this way. I've been on this road. Okay, so, set rep.
Ah, look at the top of his head!
We're there. We started there. I want to get to here. So it's a figure of 8 loop. So this is like the center bit of the 8.
So by this point I had walked my first 5k, leaving 20 left. And now that I was out of the sun, I don't know, I just got a bit giddy, which went well.
Oh, you saw that in real time. Genuinely, just hurt my ankle. Oh well.
Hurt ankle or not, the mathematically inclined among you will have realised I'm a fifth of the way through my walk, and I'm already 15 minutes into this video, so...
let's speed it up!
Oh, what a time to stretch.
It's like a fancy sitting area. It is. You could sit there if you'd like. Imagine that, sitting in a tree trunk. Using a tree trunk as a seat. Drogheda's crazy. from Crash Bandicoot where like if you went this way you could get like a gem, but the other way is for the crystal. So I'm feeling now. There is a signpost, I'm an idiot. We're going to kind of left, and then just in case you thought to go that way, you don't, you go this way. He sped up. It's actually quite freeing. It's nice. It's been a very peaceful journey. Well, bar this. Bar that. There's like a little bit on the map and basically said that, oh, there's some rough terrain throughout this Camino, and I bet you any money this is the rough terrain. A vape. Okay, so there's a factory over there, and that's good because that's part of the map. We're going off book, we're going off record, we're going off script. I'm walking on the main road now because both sides are all overgrown. Quite frankly, my white little legs can't take any scratches. I'm a sensitive little boy. There's a Ford Ranger too. That was exciting. There you go there now, sir. There's just a wee Santiago mark just to go down this road. Went Scottish there, I don't know what it is. I'm spending too much time alone. I feel like I need to ring someone. So I've been looking at the map, just to be sure I'm not just walking to Navan. I think I'm actually quite close to the halfway point. It's funny, it's only as the sun is beating down on my completely unprotected body that I realise just how under-equipped I am for this. This bag, by the way, that I adorn, isn't full of supplies. There's just, that's all like the filming stuff I take with me. So like there's nothing, there's a bottle of water in there and a protein bar, that's all I have. And I got the protein bar at Aldi. And the bottle of water I think is actually half full. So, should have brought a hat at least. Been living kind of in a city, so maybe this is the city me speaking, but hopefully this old ruin of an abbey has a gift shop. Okay, getting really quite close now and lots of really cool cars. So an MX-5 just passed me, it's lovely. And then what I saw parked up, and I was trying to film a cat, there was a cat going through some grass, but I couldn't get the camera up in time. A pristine, vintage, imported TVR Chimera in like a silver. Really nice wheels on it too actually, just stunning car. And annoyingly, the owner just left. So I couldn't, and I would have, for a TVR, I would have gone up and been, oh my God, can I please take a photograph or a video or something? Just he tells me about it because there's always a story with the TVR. I think if anyone owns a TVR, they're a character. So cool. I don't think I've ever actually seen a TVR in the wild before. So that's cool. Anyway, putting my excitement aside just for a couple of minutes, I carried on down the path. And before I knew it, I'd reached the halfway point. The old Mellifont Abbey. Bench. I've been walking for the last guts of 3 hours. I think I deserve a little break. Let's get back to it. It's 1142. The year, not the time. St. Malachy of Armagh built the old Mellifont Abbey, but not single-handedly. St. Bernard, from some place in France, sent a load of monks to give him a wee hand. However, and this is a direct quote from the Heritage Ireland website, the monks did not take well to Ireland and soon returned to France. But the abbey was completed anyway, and duly consecrated with great pomp. That's bitterness, by the way, and I think that's what that is. With the abbey being nearly 1,000 years old, there's a couple of things that have happened here that's quite noteworthy. The Treaty of Mellifont, which ended the 9 Years' War, was signed here in 1603, and William of Orange used it as a base of operations during the Battle of the Boyne. I have to say, when I got here, I was disappointed isn't the word, but I was expecting more walls to still be standing. Instead, I was greeted with a rough floor plan outlining how the abbey once stood. Now, of course, that doesn't take away from the overall impact that this heritage site actually has, because the music that you're listening to right now isn't just something random I found online. This was playing through the speakers the whole time I was there. Helps really set an atmosphere, actually.
They have a visitor centre there as well, and the lady who was running it was actually really nice. She let me charge my phone and everything and asked me how the Camino was going and all the rest. I have a suspicion that the old Mellifont Abbey is the whole reason that this Camino route is actually here and not just somewhere else in Ireland. Seeing as this is the only place of worship that's on this Camino route. Well, apart from a pub, but that's comes later. And speaking of later, it was getting quite late. I was starting to lose daylight, so I promptly left and headed towards Tullyallen.
So that was actually really nice. So now we need to hop, skip and jump to the next location, which is somewhere. We started this journey at around 11:45. We'll say 12 o'clock just for handiness. It's now 4 o'clock. Not only will this might not take me less than 5 hours, which was the base time.
It says that this can be done in 6 hours.
But it might take me more than the estimated maximum time of 7 hours.
I believe I can do it in 4.
I think if I don't speed up, I'm gonna miss the last 2 stamps. Let's keep it moving. I kind of need to call it, I need to put on some sun cream. If not, I can feel my neck burning. Oh God. Ow. And you can't really make them out, but they're floodlights. Floodlights usually either means a prison or GAA. Depending on who's playing, sometimes you can't tell the difference. But that's the GAA grounds, which means we're getting really close to the next town. It is really hard to describe how, like, seeing one of those little Camino shells with the arrows is, it's not like a, oh thank God, it's like you're doing a marathon and you see your buddy and you give him a high five. That's what it feels like seeing them. Cheers, buddy. Anyway, we're in a town now. Oh look, here's even a map. Ta-da! This is where we are. Right, we're here. Well, kind of, we're like down here. Pub next, stamp. Shop, stamp. And then there's a bit of a walk. We're kind of doing the rest of Townley Hall. Then we're going back over to here. And there it is. The next stop. It's the pub. It's the Morningstar pub. Thank. Okay. Slight problem. The Morningstar was closed, but there's a coffee shop beside it, and the lady who was working there had the little stamp. So that's 5 stamps so far. But what I'm really surprised about, they have these like fail safes for like if something's closed, go here, which is really rare for, you know, something Irish to like be thought through all the way through. Close to Dublin, you see, that's all it is. Anyway, I think my next stop's in there. I've got to go round first and do like a little loop before I go in there. And I will do it, I'm not going to cheat. Okay, so we've done the chapel, we've done the shop, we got my little stamp there, came up now, we've done this. Now, what we could do is we could head now straight to Drogheda through the Townley Hall kind of forest bit again, complete that kind of circle on the figure of 8, and then go down to the Boyne. But what I'm going to do is go to the pub. After going crazy and getting all that out of my system and charging my phone, I thought I'd line my stomach and hit the road again. Oh, that's where we came down all that time ago. Now on the other side. Well, if that's not gentrification, I don't know what is. So this now is where they try and throw us through a loop. This is kind of now back down the side of the Townley Hall place. Let's see what this brings. Now, I need to do some research, but I don't think there is a Drogheda rally, but if there was, what a spot this would be. You'd see like a Fabia go, that'd be cool. This, and whenever you're like walking on like the main
driving roads, has been the only part that's made me really feel like a pilgrim. I don't think I locked the car. We're just going to walk a little bit quicker now. Back to Drogheda. I couldn't have left it in a safer place. You know that that was put there for comedic purposes. Bicycle comes flying over there. There should just be a bottomless pit there, that'd be really funny. No, it's not just the camera, that is a long way down. Didn't even plan that little skid. That was au natural skiddage. We were here not so long ago. Outward that way. Us this way. Really just impressive stuff. Just walking down there. Didn't think I need to film because I've already filmed this, but rolled my ankle. Rolled the ankle, by the way. That already has an ankle support on it. Just superb. Just excellent stuff. Mighty. Right. Anyway. We'll follow these signs. So, just over that like weird looking bridge, I took a right and that took me into Oldbridge Manor. This is the Battle of the Boyne Visitor Centre and it's part of the Camino. This Camino is great for like weaving in parts of history, which is cool. Only thing is I'm in like the open area, I guess, and it's after 5, so the place will be closed, unfortunately. So I don't think I'm gonna get a stamp. I'm seeing like loads of people just like running about in here, so I'm gonna keep going, so I'm told to leave. Now this is the part where I usually tell you loads of little bits of history of the place, but I'm not going to. Oldbridge House is the Battle of the Boyne Visitor Centre. The Battle of the Boyne we've mentioned a few times during the video. It was basically King William of Orange versus King James. Is this thing loaded? And I'm going to tell you no more than that because if you're passing by Drogheda, I think you should stop in. The place does actually look really nice. It's a bit like Argillan. It's kind of been all done up and done all fancied for people to walk around, which is nice. There's tea pavilions, or there's like a tea, place of tea and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, next stop now is Drogheda. It's funny, at this very moment when I was walking back from Oldbridge Manor to Drogheda, I didn't feel like I had just walked 20 kilometres and I didn't feel like there was 5 kilometres left. I don't know what it was. I felt kind of at peace. I don't know. But I think with the combination of the sun going down and just about starting to see Drogheda in the distance, I just kept going and enjoying the scenes around me. There's mattress mix. It feels like it's been ages, / I've only just been in Drogheda, which it was this morning, but I was a lot less pink or red, and I had a lot more skin on my neck. But anyway, apart from that,
good to be in the home stretch. That's where it started. And annoyingly, the tourist office is just around the corner. I could have got this morning. It's closed. So, Clark's Bar, and then we're done. So that's it. That's the last stop on this Camino, but I want to go back to the chapel just one more time. Let's make the final walk. And let's see if my car's still there. Ugh. We were here. I was here a few hours ago, and now I'm back here, having completed the Camino in Drogheda, which was cool. Now, genuinely, I don't know where the car is. I can't remember where I parked it, so I'm just going to start walking through shopping centres and hope for the best. Genuinely, my love for sugar has saved me. There's the shake dog. They've got a shake dog. Interesting. So I know the car's in this building. She's still here. Oh, it's so good to see you, Florence. I'm so red. Oh my god. I paid €20 for parking, by the way. Don't park somewhere else. Don't. I don't want to talk about it. So remember at the very start when I said I could beat the allotted time? Didn't actually by quite a lot. Started at about 12 o'clock, finished at about 8. But to be fair, about an hour and a half I spent lounging. Let's do a brief recap. About 36,000 steps, 25 kilometers, and however long I go with after the maths. What time is it? I don't know. My watch is dead. My phone is dead. My legs are dead. It was so nice getting back into a car and traveling distances quickly again. Doing the Camino has given me a appreciation for cars that I didn't have before. This kind of was a bit of a joke idea. Diesel's too expensive, so I go for a walk instead. But it was really nice, and I'm really glad I did it. It's just up the road and there's loads of history. Now, here's the interesting bit. The Boyne Valley Camino that we done is actually just 1/4 of the full Camino. That full Camino being 100 kilometers, finishing in Santiago de Compostela. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on a ferry, and that ferry is going to be from Dublin Port. I'm going to go from Dublin Port right the way down to Spain. And then, once I get to here, A Coruña, I'm going to carry on the 75 kilometers to Santiago de Compostela and finish the... Or we could just leave it to the next day.